When you're a naturally skinny guy with a very thin, fragile looking frame and an overall puny build, it's hard to feel confident about yourself. I know because I've been there. And I don't want you to feel any of those same horrible feelings of self-doubt and low self-esteem. So today, I want to help pull you out of that hard gainer rut and go over the 5 biggest reasons why you're not making the gains you want to, and how you can fix that problem to conquer your ectomorph genetics and get into the muscle building fast lane. These are 5 of the most common mistakes that I see naturally skinny, ectomorph type guys making that is stopping them from putting on mass and making any progress. So in order for you to avoid being one of those guys, let's dive right into it. The first mistake you're making that is holding you back from making lean muscle gains all starts at the foundation of your fitness transformation, your diet, specifically how you're not eating enough, and more importantly, how you're not eating enough of the right things. One of the most terrible pieces of advice that has perpetually been crammed down hard gainers' throats is that they should be stuffing their faces with as much food as possible on a daily basis. Now, if you take that advice, you're boarding a one-way trip to Fat City. Now, don't get me wrong. It is important that you eat a good amount of food, but you don't have to eat a ton of food to see results. You only have to eat enough. And eating enough calories to build lean muscle is all in relativity to your own lifestyle and your own personal attributes. But what's more important than just eating enough calories is eating enough of the right calories. This means eating the right amount of protein, carbs, and fats. Again, all determined and specified by your own lifestyle and personal attributes. The best macronutrient breakdown of these calories is one that is tailored to your individual characteristics, your build, your lifestyle, your genetics, no one else's. Don't worry about the macronutrient breakdown that the shredded dude at your gym is using. It works for him, but maybe it's not the best one for you. I see this all the time. Guys are more concerned about what other fitter guys are eating than being educated on how to eat for themselves. Don't be one of those guys. Educate yourself on eating and find the best macronutrient breakdown for you. Gaining weight and making sure those weight gains are building you muscle all starts with eating enough of the right things. The second mistake that is holding you back from making progress is a lack of balance in your training. Unbalanced training is a huge issue among many guys, and it's stopping these guys from getting huge. Unbalanced training basically means that you're not hitting all of your muscle groups equally. Maybe you don't have the same intensity you do when you train your back as opposed to your chest. Maybe you're training your triceps less than you're training your biceps. Maybe you train your upper body more consistently than you train your lower body. Or maybe you don't train your lower body at all. Unbalanced training is a result of a number of things. You may be overly critical about your show muscles, like your chest and arms, so you end up over-obsessing with training them while other parts of your body get completely neglected. You may simply just not enjoy training certain muscle groups as much as you do others. But whatever the reason is, unbalanced training is the #1 cause of an unbalanced body. And by neglecting muscle groups and forcing them to play catch up with the rest of your body, you actually lessen the overall growth potential in the muscles that you do happen to be working. So not only are you creating this ugly, disproportionate body, but you're also wasting time by building weak muscles. You always want to have complete and well-rounded balance throughout all of your training, especially as a beginner. Especially as a hard gainer. You want to train all your muscles with the same amount of intensity and dedication. It's the only way to optimize and maximize your muscle growth and strength. A training split where you train complementary muscle groups on the same day is the best way to do it. A great example would be a 4-day split broken down like this. Day 1, chest and triceps. Day 2, back, biceps, and forearms. Day 3, shoulders and traps. And day 4, legs and abs. Very simple, very easy, and very balanced. Later on down the road, if you do happen to notice some muscles developing slower than others despite a balanced training routine, that's when you can add a little extra focus on your weaknesses. But right now, you're all weak. Transform that puny weakness into powerful strength with a balanced training routine. Now, the third mistake that is keeping you skinny is a big one, and it has to do with the last two things we just talked about, your nutrition and your training. This big mistake that is stopping guys from getting big is not taking the time to actually track these two very important things. Tracking and measuring your nutrition and your training is one of the most important factors to you making giant strides in your progress. Just think about it. How many times have you felt like you ate yourself silly in a day, yet when you weighed yourself the next morning, you were still the same weight? Or maybe you even lightened up a few pounds. Makes no sense. You felt like you ate a ton, right? Well, did you actually track it? Because I guarantee you didn't eat anywhere near as much as you think. Now, I used to be the same way. I felt like I was eating everything in sight, but I never tracked any of it, and I never made any progress as a result. But once I did enforce some self-discipline and started to take the time to track what I was eating, I realized I wasn't coming anywhere close to the calories I needed, much less the right type. Lesson is, until you start tracking and measuring what you're taking in, you really have no idea if you're getting enough of the right nutrients or not. So save yourself the wasted time, keep a daily food diary, and track everything you eat to help yourself meet your goals. There's a free app out there that does all of this calorie counting for you, MyFitnessPal. It's gonna be one of the most helpful tools for you on your journey. The same concept applies to your training. You want to track all of your workouts in a training log. Keep note of what lifts you're doing, how much weight you're using when you perform them, and how many reps you're able to pump out. Keeping a list of the lifts you need to do will keep you on the right track in the gym, so you don't accidentally forget to do an exercise. Accounting for how much weight you're pushing per set, as well as how many reps you're able to do on a routine basis, serves as a double benefit. By having a log of your weekly workouts, you're easily able to identify any progress and strength gains you may be making from workout to workout. And on top of that, the progress that is or isn't present in your logs serves as a great motivator for you to hit it even harder in your following workouts. Tracking and measuring your intake and your training is one of the most important things you need to do in order to get yourself moving forward and keep yourself moving forward. Now, next up, the fourth mistake that is holding you back is dehydration. You're not getting enough water. The one thing your body needs to be fed consistently and constantly in order to function at its most optimal levels. When you don't drink enough water, you aren't able to perform at your highest levels, which means when you're in the gym, you're not getting in the best workout possible. And that translates to you not getting the best results possible. Without sufficient amounts of water in your system, not only are you not able to train at your best, you're not even able to function at your best at a basic biological level. Most of the time when you're feeling weak, you think it's because you haven't eaten enough, when really it's more likely a result of you not having drank enough water. You feel more exhausted, more fatigued, you lose your breath and get winded easily, you walk around feeling groggy with a lack of energy. Without the right amount of water, you're basically a walking zombie. And that's not what you want to be, so always make sure to keep yourself properly hydrated. You want to aim to take in a daily dose of around 80 to 100 ounces of water to ensure that you're always properly hydrated. Now lastly, the fifth muscle building mistake that is keeping you small is that you're not getting enough rest. You can hit the gym as hard as you want, but if you're not getting sufficient amounts of rest, you're being counterproductive. And those hard-hitting sessions are going to end up hitting you hard. Your muscles don't grow in the gym. They grow in your sleep. Think of muscle building as a two-part process. Part one takes place in the gym where you tear your muscles up, essentially weakening them temporarily. This is where part two needs to take place during your rest, in your sleep, where your muscles rebuild and regrow bigger and stronger. They can't grow to be bigger and stronger if you don't give them ample opportunity to do so. And if you're always working out and never resting, they won't grow bigger and stronger. They'll stay the same, small, or worse, shrink. So always take some time to have some quality rest. On top of giving yourself at least one rest day in between each of your training sessions, you should be getting at least 8 hours of quality sleep per night. Sufficient rest will keep you at your best. And those are the 5 most common muscle building mistakes that skinny guys are making that is causing them to stay skinny. So if you don't want to stay skinny, don't make these mistakes. Make sure you avoid them completely by counteracting them with the simple, straightforward game plan we just went over. So instead of staying small forever, you can start making bigger and faster lean muscle gains. Now get to it. I hope you enjoyed this exclusive lesson taken directly from my upcoming training course, Zero to Hero, the Muscle Building Blueprint for Skinny Guys. Again, if you haven't signed up for my priority waitlist, make sure you click the link on your screen and add yourself to my email list right now before we run out of spaces. It literally takes just a few seconds. So do that right now, and I will see you in the next training video.